Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unfeigned, the podcast. I'm Jay, and I'll be your host. And today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little quick, but I had some thoughts, and I think I've even touched on these thoughts a little bit on maybe some previous episodes, but had some thoughts and just wanted to share some things, and hopefully this episode can speak to someone who might be going through some of the same things or maybe dealing with some of the same things. So I want to talk a little bit about um, this idea uh, of being healed and sometimes what we expect that to mean. Okay, and I'm going to share some things, but sometimes when we are healing or we're healed, we expect that things will be gone, right? And I've definitely talked about this before. I've mentioned this before on previous episodes. But sometimes we expect that our guilt will be gone, our shame will be gone, our regret will be gone. The things that trigger us will be gone, or even maybe the tendencies we used to have when we were triggered, that they would be gone and that we wouldn't feel any of those things anymore. None of that's true. As we heal, and as we're healing and as we become healed and we start to walk in our healing, it's not that those things are gone. It's not that those things just disappear. That's not the goal of healing. That's not the result of healing, because we can't stop life from lifing. We cannot control other people. We can control what we do and how we respond and how we react, but we can't control the actions and behaviors and choices of other people. We also cannot control life, right? Life is going to life. And so the goal of healing is not to make all of those things disappear and never show up again. The goal of healing is to be able to respond appropriately, react appropriately, be whole in certain situations, behave appropriately, act appropriately, not with toxic behaviors, not with toxic tendencies, but with right and pure and true tendencies. And so oftentimes we feel like if something creeps up, if we feel guilty because of something in our past, that, oh, we must not be healed. If we feel shame or we feel regret, oh, we must not be healed. If we feel anger welling up inside of us or some semblance of our old version, our previous self, right? The way we used to be, if we feel like that is creeping up, then, oh, it must be evidence that we're not healed. That is absolutely false. And if that's your inner critic speaking those words to you, you need to speak truth against that, because that's a lie. Do not be convinced that that's truth. Now, where it gets difficult, it's like added difficulty is when other people in your life start trying to tell you those same things. When something happens and now someone in your life, whether you have a relationship with them or not, it could just be your critics, but they're somehow connected to you in your life. When they start also to make these false claims and these false accusations, you may get this sense of maybe there's something to it. Well, that's a lie. Their false accusations are their issue. It's not your issue. And it's funny because as you start to heal and you are healed and you're walking in your healed version, it's oftentimes the very same people that accuse you of all these other things, accuse you of being a narcissist, accuse you of gaslighting. It's oftentimes those very same people that are being exposed for being the very thing they're accusing you of. It's really funny. I think about when I was, who I used to be and how broken I was. And my brokenness made it very easy for other people's brokenness to be concealed because the attention was on mine. The degree of brokenness was so great in my life that it allowed other people's brokenness to be hidden or to be the attention diverted away or averted away from their brokenness. And so when I'm called things like a narcissist, or I'm told that I'm gaslighting, or I'm told that this is what I do and this is how I am, and the level of brokenness in my life was able to cover those very same things happening in the people that were accusing me of them. But you don't see that because you can't see past my brokenness, right? And when people look in from the outside, that's what they see. But the funny thing, here's the ironic thing that happens. What happens, and this is a turning point. What happens is when I'm healing, and now that I'm healed, right, and this could apply to you or somebody you know too, but when I'm healed now, well, now the cover is lifted, the veil is lifted. The veil starts to be torn back. And no longer can people use my brokenness to hide their own brokenness. And it's ironic because they become exposed. They become exposed for being narcissistic, for gaslighting. The very same things that they claimed about me. Now that that's not happening, because I've healed from my brokenness and I've stepped out of that, climbed out of that, and now I'm walking in my healing, those things aren't happening anymore. But the crazy thing is their story still has to play out for them. And as they are being exposed, oftentimes for the very same things that they claimed so fervently about you or about me, as they're being exposed and these things are being revealed, their brokenness is being revealed, and there's nowhere to hide, well, it starts to play out in some really crazy behavior. And so don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged if people that you're connected to in some way, it doesn't have to be a close relationship, but sometimes it can be, but people that still are connected in your life somehow, you still cross paths somehow, some way. Don't be discouraged if and when they continue to try to break you down. And they continue and try to claim the very same things that they used to claim, which maybe back then they were able to because you were broken. Maybe those things were true, but as you're healing and you're moving away from those things they're no longer true, no matter who claims them. They're not true because someone says it or because they like it or don't like it. It's true because it's true. And if you're healing from those toxic behaviors, you're no longer those toxic behaviors. And people that are continuing to claim those things of you, well, that's their issue. That's their brokenness not being able to be hidden anymore, and it has no place to go. And so it becomes revealed, it becomes exposed. Well, broken people don't know how to handle that. And so it starts to manifest in really crazy behaviors, really silly and like behaviors that don't make any sense. Real stupid behaviors. And it's sort of like just reaching for things. The crazy thing is that when broken people start acting like that because they're being exposed, but they don't want to, instead of healing, they would rather hold on to this this brokenness. And so instead of acting appropriately, behaving appropriately, where it's not self-centered, and you actually are starting to consider the people that are affected by your decisions, when you're not just thinking of yourself, people that are broken and they're selfish and they're self-centered and self-righteous and they're only considering themselves, and they're not thinking of other people that might be affected by their own decision, their own behaviors, their own actions, it starts to manifest in some really weird, strange behavior, like odd behavior. And it's laughable. because what used to affect me can't affect me anymore. I used to act like that. I used to do those things, right? And I used to act like that. And the claims made about me in my past were true because that's how I acted. But now what's funny is the same people try to make claims and they don't apply anymore. And so it doesn't affect me. And so it's laughable. But I want to encourage y'all because when situations come up, and they're going to come up, you're going to encounter broken people, especially if you have a connection somehow in your life, some way, some shape or form. And they're still broken, and especially if you're not and they still are, their behavior is going to be evidence of their brokenness, and it's going to come at you. And I want to encourage you that that's okay. That's okay. And it's okay because that's their issue. That's not yours. That's their burden. That's not yours. You continue to walk in your healing and hope that they can find how to heal from their brokenness. But if they don't, and they're choosing not to, and they're going to remain selfish and narcissistic, and they're going to continue to gaslight, and they're going to continue to accuse and attack you, and let them. But understand that what they say and what they claim isn't true because they say it, or no matter how bad they want it to be true. And it's okay to feel some of those very same things that you used to feel when you weren't healed. Those same emotions that well up when things like that. It's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to want to kick the shit out of people sometimes. It's okay to want to start something. It's okay to want to make a scene. It's okay to want all of those things that you used to want, that you want to blow some shit up. It's okay. It's okay to feel those things. I'm not saying it's okay to do those. I'm saying it's okay to feel those things. Don't think that because you still feel those things, that when a confrontational situation arises and you get these feelings that maybe you used to have when you were broken, that all of a sudden now that's evidence that you're not healed. No, don't think that. That's a bunch of bullcrap. It's natural and it's normal for those things to come up. And this is the goal of healing. The goal of healing is, how do I manage that now? How do I live wholly? How do I live like WHOLE? How do I live whole in the midst of those things, in the midst of the very same things that I felt when I was broken? How do I live as a whole healed person, still feeling those emotions, right? You can confront those very same emotions, the same exact emotions, the same exact situations. You can confront them being healed, and you can react and respond very differently. And it does not mean that you let people walk all over you. Don't mistake kindness for weakness, right? There's a difference between being a nice person and being a good person. I am not a nice man. I am a good man. There is a difference. Because sometimes being a good man means not just being a yes man, not just being agreeable, not just doing what somebody wants you to do just because they told you to do it. And so some people may perceive that as not being nice. There's a difference between kind and nice too. Okay? I can say something to be nice, but that's not kind, because I could be saying something, I could be withholding truth from you that could help you. That's not kind. It might be being nice because I think your feelings might get hurt or something. So there's a difference between nice and kind, but there's also, being a nice man isn't the same as being a good man, or a nice person and a good person. And so it doesn't mean being a doormat just because you can't say anything and now you have to be soft. And no. Confrontation isn't mean. Confrontation isn't bad. Confrontation is good. But the way we confront being broken will look very different than the way we confront being healed. And so the goal is not to make all of those things disappear and never feel those negative emotions and never have to encounter life in any kind of miserable, bad way. That is not the goal of healing. That has nothing to do with being healed or not. What healing has everything to do with is our response to that. What do we do with it? So I just wanted to encourage y'all. I wanted to come in. I wanted to come on here and share some thoughts. And just know, listen, I'm not saying these out of ignorance because I know what it's like. And I'm speaking from a place of experience and some recent experience, actually. And I just want you to know that the goal of healing is not to have all of those things be gone, and then that means we're healed, and that we're not healed until all of those things are gone and we don't feel those bad, negative things anymore. No, that's wrong. That's false. Okay, the goal of healing is to be able to encounter such things and react in the right way, respond in the right way, behave in the right way, make right choices. To live, when we encounter such things, to live in a healed, whole way. Y'all, thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for following me along with me on this journey. Thank you for being a listener of this podcast. Share this podcast with everybody. There's some really exciting things going on right now, and I don't want to get into all of them, but I'll just say a couple quick things briefly. If you've been following along with the podcast, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. If this is your first time, welcome. Share this podcast. I pray that this podcast would reach as many people as possible. The last Friday of every month, we do something called Healing Out Loud, and that's when questions are submitted by people that listen to the podcast, and we dive into those questions. If you want to do that, go to the website, unfeigned.org. You can check it all out there. Just click the live Q&A link and submit your form. Also, I wanted to share something very exciting that I've been sort of promoting, I guess, lately, but I'm really excited about, and it's gonna sort of shift the way I do coaching and the impact we have, and it really does align with this movement of healing. And it's called the Tribe. It's called the Unfeigned Tribe. So if you hear me refer to the Tribe, this is what I'm talking about. It's something where I'm building a community of people who are walking out of brokenness into their healing. It might be people that are very broken still and wanting to be healed, wanting to learn how to heal from their brokenness. It might be people that are just starting to walk out of brokenness, or it might be people that have walked out and are healing, and maybe there's people that are even healed, right? Everyone is on their healing journey at a different point. And I'm building this community of people that are going from brokenness to healing. It's this movement of healing. And inside the Tribe, I've designed courses, right, that you can go at your own pace, right? You go on there and you go through the different modules. And right now we have courses up there that are about healing from brokenness in your own life as an individual, your own personal life. There's a course up there from how to heal from a broken relationship, right? And how to have the perfect relationship. And there's a course I just uploaded, just finished, that talks about this law of intentional focus, the power of attention, right? I have one of my mantras that I use a lot, that is a foundational mantra in everything that I do, is whatever you give your attention to, you'll become attracted to. Whatever you become attracted to, you will pursue. And that's this power of attention, right? And so this new course that I just uploaded is on there, and it talks about how to rewrite our life, right? By the power of our attention, how can we heal from past traumas, childhood traumas, brokenness, heartbreak, addictions, right? And also, how do we use this power of attention to attain the things we want to attain, the goals we have? Like, how do we reach those goals, and how do we do that? Another course that I'm just getting ready to finish up and upload is the power of choice, right? It's based on my second mantra: choose, commit, confront. So there's a lot of awesome things to unpack inside the Tribe. If you join the Tribe, you'll have access to all of this. We'll also have live coaching. So we have a forum that I've called the Fireside Chat. And my hope, my vision for that is that members of the tribe will post things up there and we'll start like forum type discussions. And as a community, we start to pour into each other and start to grow with each other. And then there will also be some other things that will be coming down the line that I'll make announcements for. So definitely check it out. Go to tinyurl.com/join the unfeigned tribe and check that all out. There's a little welcome message, a brief introduction about what it's all about. So y'all, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about some things to come. I'm really excited about this movement of healing and this community that I'm building. And I would love for you to be a part of it. If you have any questions, reach out. You can always email me unfeignedpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, see you then.